to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirishima here. Now then, when we last left off, I killed about, let's see, Todoroki, died from his injuries, Shoji, bled out, Eraserhead, he died, simply, I believe Mina killed him, or Deku, decayed his head. All Might, he got fucking decapitated. Ida got his throat ripped out, basically, and Denki, he died from the spread of decay. Momo, she actually lost her left arm because of the acid, burning through her shields and reaching her skin. Along with Uraka, she tried attacking Deku, but Mina quite literally ripped through her entire hand with acid, leaving nothing but bone. Now then, we will pick up with Class 1A. Everyone's in shock as to what just happened, as Kirishima, he is just standing there realizing everything he's ever thought was a lie. He looked up to Deku because, well, quite simply, not only has he been the person who's tried to inspire him and inspire others, but he's also seen him as quite literally almost unbreakable. Now, because of that, he's just sitting there trying to process everything. As the pros would arrive, they are immediately attacking from them. Momo's using her arm to basically create things like med kits, along with little bandages to try and help people. Uraka would have been patched up by, let's say, Jiro or Froppy, while everyone else is just trying to make sure everyone's okay. The heroes would check and find that everyone who they thought were dead, well, basically everyone on this list is dead. Momo and Uraka are injured, and Kirishima, thanks to his hardened skin, basically adding a layer of protection, it only basically... his skin is basically turned red at this point. It's not cut through acid, but... the acid didn't cut through it, but he is still injured, nonetheless. And his skin is actually tingly. Now, he would basically get a vinegar bath, or... yeah, I believe vinegar stops acid. And that would work. Now, people would basically all reunite in the actual dorm room. Everyone's talking and trying to figure things out, as they would actually just bring Kirishima in for questioning. Kirishima would meet with Principal Nezu, and he would also meet with, let's say, Sir Night-Eye, as Sir Night-Eye's events did not align with what he thought. They are all trying to figure out exactly how this happened, what happened, and they would immediately start pointing fingers at Kirishima. Night-Eye immediately basically walking in, grabbing Kirishima up to him by his shirt collar, staring him in the eye and looking into his future. Seeing everything that happens up until now. Well, in the next 24 hours. He would see that Deku does not try and contact him or even reach out. And in fact, the boy is free of all suspicion. Because he did say that for a while, Deku and Mina were not coming to school, and he just figured it was because of what happened to their parents. They are confused as Kirishima would basically go over what happened to their parents, everything up until now, that he knows. Even the part about Deku and Mina basically being dangled over a bridge, because people kept messing with him and actually threw his camera over. His camera? Some pro gave it to him. He said the pro had the same quirk. Night-Eye would speak up saying, "Oh, you mean Tomura." Who? That's the name that Deku kept saying. Tomura Shigaraki. How much do you know, actually? As he would just say that He would just go on saying that Deku said that before, but he's just confused. Not only that, but Mina had a new quirk. So, do you know exactly what this quirk was called? Yeah, it's something All Might gave her? She called it One for All. Okay. How is this all connected, Sir Night-Eye? Nezu. Mr. Nezu. Sorry. Young boy, I do understand your troubles and your trauma, actually. Mr. Night-Eye, would you like to explain? Tomura Shigaraki, the grandson to Nana Shimura. Nana Shimura was the former holder of One for All. Former holder? Yes, I'm quite sure, as you know, that All Might's quirk can be passed down. Nana Shimura passed it down to him. After her subsequent death against a villain, she basically hid her child. She hid it before this fight in battle, I believe. In fact, she did so in order to protect them, but that did not work. After an incident with Tomura Shigaraki, he accidentally hurt his family. And by accidentally, I mean he awakened Decay. But that's Deku's quirk. You didn't let me finish. He awakened Decay and began killing his family. From the police reports, all we know is that there were accidents, and All Might found him, raising him to be a proper pro. He then died at insert Tomura Shigaraki's age 2 years ago in the anime. Or in My Hero Academia. I don't know his age. Now then, Night-Eye would give a full explanation as everyone basically gets put in dorm rooms and actually has more teachers brought along. Now, cut over to the villain's base. All Might... Deku's basically messing around with All Might's head as he has it sitting in a bucket of ice. Actually basically just flicking and messing with the hair. This is whenever Mr. Compress and quite a bit of the League actually do walk over. Toga is staring at All Might's head as she's just watching the blood, as Deku's still messing with it. Now then, Toga would walk up and Mina would immediately look at her as she just basically says, so it seems we're the only girls here. Not really, we have Big Sis over there. Mina would look over, seeing her, and just bring her hand up to wave, but she'd just be met with a stern turn away. Because I believe they just think Deku killed him. They would just think that this is just some chick Deku brought along. Don't worry about her. She'll warm up to you eventually. That's just her way of saying hi. Okay, so who are you? I'm Toga. Deku immediately just looks at Toga, asking her what her quirk is. She would just explain it and actually just look up some of All Might's blood, turning into him. Basically, they'd all go over what their quirks are and talking more and more. As that's going on, Deku and Mina would basically be pulled aside by Kirigiri as Kirigiri would hand Deku an envelope. Deku would take this and he would just say All For One had to rewrite this. Now then, as he walks out of the room. Afterwards, this is whenever Deku and Mina would open it and find that this is All For One. So, you've actually done it. You performed well and you performed admirably, along with the fact that you are tactitious and actually willing to kill. Some things I believed you weren't, but I was clearly wrong. Now then, I actually did have to rewrite this because I did not believe you would actually just bring me his head, let alone kill more pros and classmates. Quite impressive, you two. Not just that, I did believe you would get his quirk, not Mina. So, I will be helping you two from further on. The League has had many members, but none as quite as impressive as you. Now then, I have a task for you two. But before then, I believe that you do deserve some proper time to rest. Young As he would also write, "Young successor, I do believe you may actually be exhausted from that quirk." Deku just looks at Mina and she just says, "Oh, you have no idea. Pumping yourself up that high, it's like you're tearing yourself apart, quite literally." As these two immediately just walk out of the room. They can't really go anywhere, so Deku would just ask Kirigiri for a favor, as he would open a portal and they would both reappear back at their own hideout. Deku would immediately just hold up All Might's head, telling everyone that they did it, as he would just put it back through the portal and drop it in the bucket. Now, along with that, Deku and Mina would basically walk into the next room as they go into the kitchen and they're somewhat wanting to prepare a victory feast. But before then, Deku, he's basically taking off, his bloody shirt and asking Mina what they should prepare. As Deku turns around, Mina immediately meets him with a heavy kiss. Now then, as these two are kissing, this is whenever they get interrupted. And as that happens, this is whenever Deku would walk over annoyed and open the door. Now then. Now, as the man would just say that they have a problem, the man would go and explain that Deku needs to turn on the news. As he would do so, he would find that most of Class 1A has actually just not bounced back, but they are somewhat fine, along with the fact that they have their faces plastered on the news now. Deku would just look at the guy saying, Is this all you interrupted me for?" "Well, yeah, boss, I didn't think you..." "Listen, that was the whole point of us going to 1A. How do you think we got All Might's head?" Along with that, we also did take out some powerful players in our future. "Powerful players, boss?" "Yeah. We took out All Might, Eraserhead, 13, and the number 2 hero, number 1 hero now. We took out his son. Along with the fact that we killed a guy who can copy quirks. Now, All For One would call Deku. Deku would pick up the phone, and All For One would just say that they have a new task. If they can secure Eraserhead's body, this will be the next stepping stone. Now, if they can do so, then he can stop them from a future event he believes will happen. They are just asking what, as they would say that now they need to take out Sir Night-Eye. I forgot that guy's future vision. Fuck. He's gonna see us coming, isn't he? Especially now that we killed All Might. Well, yes, but I actually do know a little insight to his quirk. The doctor that diagnosed him, they would regularly check up on him, as the doctor would basically be portaled in. He's very afraid of Deku, as Deku just walks over to him and actually just kneels down looking at him. "Hello, Doctor. We meet again. Now, sadly, we're on the same side this time. I really, really was hoping to meet you under different circumstances." Yes, but..." "Shut up. Now then." Remember that day so clearly. My first kill. Aimed for the throat too, actually." Deku would immediately just bring his hand up, scaring the doctor. "You know exactly what happens if I were to do that again now, especially with how my quirk is now. Now then, what do you know? Everything, spill it now." The doctor would go over saying that with the fact that he would regularly check up on Sir Night-Eye, he basically knows that after basically this medical act got put into place, people had to regularly go to a quirk doctor. If not, at least go once a year to explain the advancements with their quirks or any changes, so that they can properly diagnose and write them down more, along with the fact that they can put them in more history books and actually teach people better about using quirks, because it may be helpful information in the future. Now then, he would just say that from Night Eye's latest visit, which was approximately 7 months ago, his quirk, he can do one thing. He can see up to 7 years in the future. Deku, he's thinking that that is not good already. Ah, fuck. So, is there any actual good news to this? Well, yes, well, I believe he's probably already done it, but that young boy you two knew. Kirishima. Yes, him. From the reports I've seen at UA, he survived. Along with that, I would like to know one thing. You two, you do know that his quirk is quite powerful, yes. He does not train it, though. For most hardening quirks I've seen, they're at least a lot better than that one. Yeah, the guy's a bit of a coward sometimes, but he did step up once. Now then. I do believe Sir Night Eye has actually used his future sight on him, or foresight, as we like to call it, and seen the next 24 hours very clearly. Do not step in or try and make contact with him, as Sir Night Eye has possibly already seen the outcome of that. So I suggest you two wait next week. Or at least wait after, this time. Because they would have seen on the news that Sir Night Eye was actually walking into UA. So, we got a couple minutes then. Good. As Deku, he starts trying to remember exactly how many minutes it takes to get to Mr. Nezu's office. From the entrance. The distance was approximately... As Deku's trying to figure this out. He would have a rough estimate of, if you got lost, or if you didn't know the place, you'd have about 5 to 10 minutes. So, that would be a good window. Now, because of that, let's see. Yeah, that works. Anyways, Deku and Mina, all for one would basically bring Deku he would basically meet with Deku in real life. Having Deku open a portal, Deku would step back into the bar with Mina, and they would meet everyone once again. As Kirige would just say, all for one wants to meet you two properly. Now, after that, he would actually just open up another portal, and Deku would walk through. Seeing all for one actually just sitting there with wires in his face. God damn, what happened to you? Well, this is the outcome with All Might. What did you expect? Anyways, you two. I wanted to meet with you in person. My next mission for you. Mission? So we work for you now. Well, you two have actually earned your place in the league. Along with you have completed a task I did not believe I could do on my own. Eraserhead is being taken to Aldridge City. Why is he being taken there? Well, they did want to preserve his body better. Along with the fact that that little hero memorial of all the fallen, still can't believe they put those things up. It's disgusting. They're taking his body there. I want you to secure it. I would ask you to bring me All Might's, but the quirk is long gone by now in his body. I've looked at his head, and there's nothing left. Just an empty shell. Now, get me Eraserhead's body, and I will give you a gift. Really? Yes. Actually, I will give both of you a gift. This will be your next stepping stone. Now, as Kirigiri would immediately open up the portal, and Deku and Mina would step off. Deku, he would see that they are already in Aldridge. In fact, they are not right outside the place, but they're outside the highway. As Deku, He would just say that if she can get to the truck, he can actually just decay the bottom of the highway and she can take out the body, if not attack the transport. The heroes, they may get you, but even then, in the chaos, they are going to try and save everyone, as they will prioritize life. Now, Mina, she would immediately understand as she would just pick Deku up and they would both be jumping off. She's going at 25% as they are actually just jumping along, and Deku would immediately be brought to the bottom of the highway in the canal. He is actually just thinking, okay, as he would hand over a little headset, she would put it on. As that happens, she would immediately just jump up to the top of the highway, actually looking over it, as she's just hanging on into a hole she made on the metal. As that happens, she sees the transport as it is heavily guarded. She brings her hands up and just tells Deku that now they're basically here, as they would do so. Now then, she immediately watches as one entire off-ramp just falls down into the canal. You still there, Izu? Yeah, I'm still here. You know me, I'm a stubborn bastard. Not gonna kill me that easily. Huh. Well, yeah. Pretty sure we would have survived that fall at least. Anyways, Kirishima. He's gonna be a bigger problem, right? Well, yeah. But I do believe we just need to. Your acid is just a little weaker. What do you mean? I saw his skin actually start to, well, not melt, but he looked very burned after that. We should just need to lay into him for about a couple minutes. Minutes? Are you serious? Well, I think so. As Deku, he just runs his hands on the bottom of all the concrete and starts taking down the other side of the highway. As cars and civilians are being heavily injured and killed, these two are basically having a lot of fun. Heroes would immediately scatter, getting away from the transport, as Mina would immediately jump in, melt off the back, throw out the doors, and kill all the guards inside. As she would pick up the body back and immediately just hop out of the back of the transport. Someone would see her, a cop would see her as they immediately aim their gun at her, telling her to drop the body and put her hands up. She would immediately do so as she's no longer sparking electricity, as she basically would just point her finger down and blast acid out of it. As that happens, the cop gets covered and a bullet goes flying. Mina actually was able to dodge this, and she would just watch as there's a hole in the metal. As she gets angry, she just blasts more and more acid at the cops in front of her. Deku just asks if that's okay, if she's okay, because he heard something. She would just say that she's fine, just she didn't expect the cop to actually fire at her. He's dead now. As she picks up the body and immediately just comes down to the bottom of the highway, getting Deku. These two would immediately just watch as a portal opens and they would walk through, as they are basically watching a news report. The news report is going on that Eraserhead's, body is being stolen by the two UA traders. As cops are basically running in and actually trying to go through the portal. Let's say a pro with a, different quirk. Let's say they had a super speed quirk and they were able to at least run through and actually get through the portal. As soon as they come through, they would have met with Deku actually holding out his hand, and he would have actually grabbed the pro, immediately pinning them to the ground as he would have brought his hand up and immediately start bringing it down. As soon as he does so, Kirige would just say stop, as he just says that the blood will not come out easy. Deku just sighs as he immediately just cocks his hand back and actually just punches the pro, knocking him out. As soon as that happens, this is whenever Deku, he would just say, they got his body, now what? All for one, he has a good idea, but I do believe he has the wrong one. So what? What's he going to do with it? Well, I believe he wants to turn it into a Nomu, but I believe we should still be able to get the quirk. How? Well, we can copy and harvest quirks from corpses. I believe he still can, depending on how long the death is. As All for One would immediately teleport into the bar, he has his mask on. They're all in shock as they see him, and he would just immediately come over, opening Aizawa's eyes as he makes physical contact with him, as he would rip out the quirk and immediately just start by picking up the body and walking away. As he does so, Deku's just asking about the pro. He would just say that, leave him be. Tie him up, actually. We can make a message out of him. Deku would just say okay as he begins dragging the pro into the next room. Now then, as Deku, he drags the pro into the next room, he actually gets the pro set up and tied up properly. As the man would wake up eventually, he would find that he is heavily restrained. Deku just looks at the man, saying that he shouldn't really do that. Villains. So, what do you plan on doing with me? Kill me? Torture me? Try and get information? You two are UA students. How could you do this? All Might's gonna get you once he's out of the hospital. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? All Might's going to get you. The symbol of peace will get better. What's so funny? I'm sorry. Nearly cracked a rib. You believe All Might's still alive? What? Of course he's alive. He just got there too late. Oh my god. Of course they would hide this from you. If people learned that the symbol of peace died during that attack also, it would shatter everyone. I wonder. Should we put his head on a spike outside that arena, or that little memorial you have for him? That memorial you have for all the heroes. I don't believe you. How do you know he's dead? Because, as Deku immediately turns around, he would just hold up All Might's head. This is a little trophy I have. Look at it. As the pro closes his eyes, Mita would immediately come up behind him as she opens them up, telling him that, of course that's All Might. We took his head personally. Now, tell me, what's your quirk? What is it called? My quirk is called, well, he would go and explain that his quirk is a super speed quirk. Now, Deku, he would hear about this, and All for One immediately walk in the room. He would just say that he has a little bit of a plan, as he would tell Deku that he is going to give him not only Eraserhead's quirk, he also wants to give him this man's quirk, as if he does so, this will make it very, very useful. Now, these are the only two quirks I can give you without you going through the processes of becoming a Nomu. Otherwise, you may go insane. A normal person can only have 2 quirks. So, you're going to give me 3? Well, yes, actually. Eraserhead's quirk will work very well against Night Eye. Along with that, Night Eye can use his quirk to basically predict your moves. But if he does not know about the super speed, then this will work in our favor perfectly, actually. So, this pro will be useful, as All for One would immediately put his hands on the man's head, ripping out his quirk. As soon as he does so, the man, he's still conscious, as he would just say kill him. Deku, he would just comply. He would immediately just put his hands to the man's leg as he immediately starts decaying the man. Mina immediately just tells Deku that, no, that's a little too slow. Don't want him to suffer now, do we? As she immediately just holds her hands over him, bathing him in layers of acid, killing the man. Now, this is whenever All for One would tell Deku that, you need to come here. Now, This is going to hurt quite a bit, but it will pay off. Now, Deku, he would immediately just be told to get on his knees. He would do so as this is when All For One would put his hand on his head and give Deku the quirk. Deku, he immediately starts screaming, but he just grunts his teeth together, as All For One would say that now he will be putting in the super speed. Deku actually starts screaming very loudly as Mina is just holding on to his hand, telling him that it's going to be okay, as he would pass out. Now, she's just asking exactly what happened to him, and he would just say that this process is never easy. Now, he will be at full strength again in a couple days. So, after that, we should be fine. Then we have to start work on the Hero Killer project. Hero Killer. Well, yes. The 2 quirks I put into him should actually help very well against that man, too. His speed is lacking, but his power is good. That boy is actually very strong. But he was just born with the wrong quirk. Now, if he can actually take down the Hero Killer, along with help us on our mission, then this will work perfectly. Our next target is going to be Sir Night-Eye after Stain. If not, at least figure out what you two want to do with that one boy. You left him alive. We didn't leave him alive. He's just harder to kill than we thought. Fair point. Now, this is whenever All For One would just walk out of the room, and Kirigiri would open their portal and take them back home. Now then, that is where I'm going to be leaving things off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed and understand that, yeah, I was basically gonna, I planned on giving Deku All For One's quirk in case a hero did kill him, but I was going to do that at around the All Might versus All For One battle. But that would have involved me actually giving Kirishima One For All, or Mirio One For All. But this at least helps me, because I can actually strengthen Deku's quirk, along with basically give him a reason to actually survive Sir Night-Eye's, foresight. Because he could actually be a very, very, very durable and strong hero if Nana gave him All For One, or One For All, or, All Might gave him One For All, and retired after his, injury. Now then, I do hope you guys understand that, and do not hate me for this. Because now Deku actually does have some useful quirks. Besides Decay.